Hi there, it's Laura here
And Tasha
from Get Organized HQ Virtual, and we are here at the wrap party for this event. I mean, don't we say this every year, but like this week has just flown by.
Absolutely.
And I cannot believe we are already here at the end wrapping it up, and we're not done yet. We still have some good stuff coming your way, lots of fun surprises here in this wrap party, and we revamped it a little bit for this year.
or a lot bit.
Yeah, kind of a lot.
I think you could say we revamped
Yes,
it a lot.
we really revamped it. So we're not just going to be doing the same things we've done in previous years. New this year that I am so excited about. In the presentation portion, we are going to be actually taking action together. So we're going to actually formulate an action plan. So I want you to walk away with 2 or 3 concrete things you're going to do, because I know getting all this information can be a lot and a little bit overwhelming at times. So we want to make sure you know exactly what to go do. So we'll be doing that together. The only thing that you are going to need, you actually need supplies for this, is some kind of paper. I'm using a little mini notebook here, and a writing utensil like a pen. That's what you need. So if you don't have that, go ahead and grab paper and a pen, because we're actually going to put you to work a little bit during this session. And I know I've heard from so many of you all who say that this week has already made such a difference for you. And I just want you to imagine, if you take what you've learned and you apply just a little bit at a time, do not try to apply it all at once, where you are going to be when you come back here next year. I think it's just really fun to see year after year, and we get so many comments every year who people are like, I came last year, I've been coming for many years. I think this is the 8th one we've done, and it's made such a difference in my life. Like, I'm starting to see my clutter diminish. I'm starting to get control of like my time management and my home, and it's just so amazing to hear that. And I want you to realize that that could be you. And so by making this action plan together, we are going to be able to really make a difference and really achieve our goal of just living with less stress and more peace. I know the world out there, especially for me, can be stressful and there's a lot going on. So we really want our homes to be a place where, you walk in and you just feel that sigh of relief, that things are comfortable, that things are organized and structured. So that's really what we're going for here, and I know it's made a difference for so many of you. Go ahead and let us know in the comments. I'm curious, of the sessions you've watched so far, what has been your favorite or maybe your most impactful? I would love to hear from you all about that. And
we have several who are just jumping in right now, so don't worry, we are just getting started. This is our wrap party, and so just as a quick recap of what we're gonna do here, Laura has a presentation on getting the most out of what we've learned. How to apply what we've learned moving forward. And so make sure you have, we've got just a little bit of paper here and a pen, so make sure anything, it doesn't matter what it is, scrap piece of paper.
Notes,
yes.
Like sticky notes. I couldn't remember what those were called.
But those are the supplies you need. Some sort of something to write on and some sort of something to write with, because we are going to be working together to make an action plan. So kind of to take all of the knowledge and ideas and inspiration that you've gathered, consolidate that down and say, what now? How do I start taking all of this and actually affecting change in my life and home? So this is going to be a really awesome time together. Plus, we've got several surprises coming throughout the time of this presentation. So I think you're going to love it. So glad you're here this morning. Good to see everyone tuning in, saying hello. Looks like everything is working, so that's always good to see.
Okay, I'm going to just share a few of people's favorites. So Debbie said Dawn Matheson from The Minimal Mom was her favorite. Melanie Renee's sessions resonated with me the most, helped me to understand my husband better and how to help him to get on the declutter train. There's so many, it's so hard to, let's see.
Yes, I see the Empty Nester series.
Yeah, Casey says that Jennifer Maker always inspires her.
Oh,
that
yes.
one was last night. That one's still up if you want to watch it after this one. Someone said Fit Frugal Mom, learned so much from her.
I see Dana on here. I think we could sit here and eventually get almost all of the presentations listed, right? And that's what part of the beauty of Get Organized HQ Virtual is, that there is something for everyone. And so that is super fun. I would love to hear in the comments, were there any sessions that you were like, I don't know, I'm gonna give it a try, I'm not sure if this one is exactly for me, and then it just totally surprised you and turned out to be your favorite session of the whole event? Did you, if you were at the kickoff, we talked about picking one session every day that was a little bit outside your comfort zone, just because you never know what's gonna surprise you. So if anyone took us up on that challenge, let us know in the comments how that went and what your takeaways were from that.
Yeah, we would love to hear, whenever you kind of went out of your comfort zone and maybe it surprised you. Somebody liked How to Declutter When Everything Sparks Joy, and I love that title. I haven't been able to watch that one yet, but definitely on my to-see list, because sometimes it does feel that way. You're like, everything, like I want all of this.
Yes, I see Ashley's Tiny Tasks session. I saw a lot of positive feedback about that one. That was all the way back on Monday, which seems like in some ways so long ago and also just like yesterday. So.
Yes. I love this comment from Kathleen. She said she's 78 and trying to get organized from years of stuff. And Kathleen, you are not alone. We hear from so many just like you who are working on that. And that is going to be such a gift to your family.
Oh, yeah.
To not leave them with just all the stuff to sort through, and already maybe gift it to them now, or leave them with the things that are really meaningful instead of like all of the stuff that they need to sort through. So so many comments about everything. Loved the session. Something for everyone, how your brain works. That's also super good.
Tiny tasks again. Jennifer Maker again. Home prep for emergencies. Was that? Oh man, was it Melanie? Now you're testing my memory. But yes, that one I see in the comments here. Tiny tasks again. So lots of favorites here. But what's important is that you have those key takeaways, those action steps that you're ready to apply. But if you're feeling a little overwhelmed, a little uncertain about what comes next, now that you have all of this inspiration and all of these things that you want to apply, you are in the right place, because that is exactly what we're breaking down today here at this wrap party.
For sure. Okay, so before we get to how to enter the giveaways, I just need to mention, to make sure that no one misses it, if you're here on live, I know a lot of you may be in the situation where you'd hope to get to more sessions and you didn't quite get to as many as you wanted, or maybe there's one that you loved and you want to watch again. You can get the All Access Pass, which that will give you lifetime access to all of the sessions, along with so many other things. I think the favorite, I was looking to see if I had them printed, but I don't. The handwritten notes is one of everyone's favorites. The cheat sheets, they even give you action items, the edited transcript, the audio. I saw several people in the Facebook group who didn't even know that they had an audio version.
I know, it's hard for us to be able to present all of the things that are in the All Access Pass in an understandable way, because there is just so much in there. You are almost guaranteed that if you get the pass and you start digging around with what's in there, there's going to be more than you expect, because there is just a wealth of materials and information in there.
Yeah, and so those audio sessions are great for on the go or listening while you do things. And there's also the speaker bonuses, which every year, I know I get emails from people who are like, oh, I wish I would have known before the price went up, that it also included these bonuses. These are products that the speakers sell, and they have generously gifted them to those of you who buy the pass, and those are worth over $1,000 on their own. So I just want to make sure you have all the information, because the price is going to go up when we're done with this live. So right now it is only $49, and it is going to go up by 6 times. I don't know what the word is for that, but we're just going to say, so it's over 80% off right now. So when we're done here, we'll raise the price to the full price of $297. So there is still a little bit of time left to snag it for the low price of just $49, and that comes out to is it 25 cents a session or something?
Oh man, there's 118 sessions and 16 live sessions, and it's $49.
Less than 50 cents, so maybe 30-ish cents a session. So we try to make it as affordable as possible. So this is, I'm gonna go ahead and put that link up on the screen for you. All these links are also down in the description. These links aren't clickable. These are for you to jot down or type in your browser. But if you still haven't gotten that, and I know a ton of you have, I've already seen a ton of comments, but if you were thinking about it, and you think you might want it, now is the best time to go ahead and get that. And then let's talk about giveaways. I know you all want to get entered into the giveaway. We'll be giving away several things here today. We'll just go throughout, of course, some passes and some other items we have to give away. So this is where you go. That URL on the screen, you cannot click it. You'll need to type it in your browser or jot it down. That link is also, I think, the secondish link in the description. Go ahead and click that and enter that. You only need to enter one time, and you will be entered for all the giveaways that we're going to be doing throughout this session. So go ahead and get yourself entered. It's very simple. You just need to put in your name, I think maybe your zip code, and your email address. We'll contact winners via email because a lot of times people might have the same name. So we'll be doing that, and we'll be announcing the winners as we go. And let's see, I feel like I had one other thing that I need to say about the giveaway. Oh, and then there is optional bonus entries. So when you fill out that form, you are already entered. But if you want bonus entries, which just slightly increases your chances of winning, I think there's a couple additional actions, like subscribing on YouTube and checking out the Instagram are 2 additional optional actions that you can take if you would like. All right, so I think everybody is able to get signed up for those giveaways. And with that, I think we can go ahead and dive into our content and start talking about that. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to bring that up for us. All right, here we go. We are here on the wrap party. And again, we're talking here about how to apply what you've learned, and we're actually going to make an action plan. So once again, make sure, hold on, I think I'm going to bring our camera up.
Oh, okay.
If it is not up already. Oh, there we go. All right,
go.
got it up. So I don't know what I did there. So we are going to be making an action plan. So make sure you have any kind of paper. I have a little mini notebook here, and something to write with is all you're going to need for this session. All right, so we want to talk about how there are really 3 major categories of organization, 3 major things that you can organize. The first one is your spaces and stuff. That kind of goes together. So that is like, I want to organize my living room or my closet, or I want to organize all of my dishes or things like that. All right. The second one is information. And we all have so much information. Like the things you're learning here are information. Notes, things like that.
Your budget, your meal plan, like the things that there's maybe not something tangible to touch, but it all lives in your head.
Yes. So that's the second category of organization. And the third one is your time. And your time, little hint here, you're not really organizing your time. You can't really organize time. I mean,
it's already organized.
Time just happens. Like we can't really change time, but we're really organizing ourselves. So getting ourselves to do what we want to do within the time that we have is what we really mean by time management. But we use that term because that's what most people kind of call it. So that's things like your planning, your action plans, and things like that. So that is really the only 3 categories that you have. And when you think about it like that, I think it kind of simplifies things. Now, not to say that those aren't huge things. Like, yes, your spaces and your stuff, your information, your time. I mean, all of that is really huge and a really big task. But everything you've been learning is either going to help you organize your spaces and stuff, help you organize information, or help you organize your time or your stuff. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit more about organizing your spaces and your stuff. So when it comes to this, there's really only 2 steps. Step 1 is always decluttering.
Surprise.
Yes, surprise. We've had so many sessions about that every year because that is just the foundation. And I don't want to call it easy because it's not. I mean, we've all done it and it's not easy, but it's simple.
Yes.
Like it's simple and it's so impactful. So that's always going to be step 1. And step 2 is always going to be organizing. So then once you've gotten rid of the things that you don't want, then you need to bring some sort of structure for the stuff that you have. And organizing is really assigning items a home. Yes. So we always put them in the same place and we know where to find them. And these are some sessions that will help you declutter. I'm going to go ahead and take our camera off here so that you can screenshot this if you would like to. We just thought it would be helpful if you were able to kind of see all the sessions that deal with that, because I know so many of you have the pass, and when you go back to watch, here's some of the sessions. I don't think I'll read them all off because there's so many of them.
Also, if you don't have the all access pass, but you have been taking notes throughout this week, these are some great sessions that you could refer back to your notes on as you work through decluttering.
Yes, for sure. So go ahead and screenshot that or take a picture of it. And then we'll go on to organizing. So this slide is sessions that'll help you tackle the organizing side of things. So again, if you have the past, these are ones you can revisit for that. part of the process, or if you just have the free ticket, you can refer back to your notes from these particular sessions. So you can go ahead and screenshot that or take a picture of it. And then I want to ask, do you remember what we said in our kickoff for what is required for a space to be organized?
It's like a little quiz.
Yeah, it kind of is. Little pop quiz here. There's really only 2 things required for a space to be organized, and we want to see if you remember what those are, and we will go ahead and talk about what that is, because I think it bears repeating here because it's so important, and I actually have an example here. So go ahead and let us know in the comments if you remember those 2 steps for what is required in order for a space to be organized. Okay, like I said, there's only 2 things. Hint, it's not bins, baskets, labels, color coding, some special method, or anything like that.
I see the answers coming in.
Okay.
I think the first one I saw, although the comments I don't think necessarily come in the same order for anyone, was Jennifer. She said, everything has a place and everyone that uses it knows where it is.
So good. All right, you got it.
I think that's step 1 of it. And then step 2 is, I don't know if I see it yet. I see a place for everything, a place for everything. Okay, tell them what the second part is.
All right, so the first one is every item needs a home, and everyone who uses the space knows what it is. And number 2 is it just needs to make you smile.
There it is. I saw it right before you put it up. Megan said
All right, so that is what is required to have an organized space. That's all. So other things are great, but this is all that's really required. So there's not one special certain way you have to do it. And I have an example from this actually. I was scrolling my phone this morning and I saw this post in the Facebook group where this person has actually shared a picture of her spices that she organized, and I absolutely love what she said about this, and I think this embodies exactly what we are saying about organization. She said, there's no disagreement that having spices in exact matching jars is absolutely gorgeous, but then I would have to store these somewhere else to refill the pretty jars. No thanks. She's thrilled to be able to get to all the spices without having to dig through the front ones to get to the back. Plus, the large bottles fit great on these shelves. Not Pinterest picture perfect, but it's so functional. Awesome. So I love what she said there in the Facebook group, and that is really what we mean. This is every bit as organized as if you do have matching jars. They're both completely organized, and it's about what is actually going to work and function well for you. All right, and these are sessions to consider if you want to take it to that next level. So if you want to add a little bit to your spaces, like you want to do the labeling or decor or kind of that next level after we've decluttered, we've organized, and we want to add a little something extra, you can screenshot this or take a picture. These are some of the sessions that will help you with that. All right, and what was your favorite tip you learned for organizing spaces and stuff?
Ooh, that is a good question. I think there is a lot to be said for what you were saying about everything having a home and everything, like everyone knowing where it is. It reminds me, there was an entire session on functional versus fancy organizing that was Kayleen, and I liked how she put that, just the alliteration, I guess. And that both of those are organized, and it just depends on you and your style and what you want and what makes you happy. For some people, you know, maybe something like this behind us that has like all of the matching bins and all of the labels makes you happy, and sometimes that can actually make you more stressed, thinking about maintaining that and keeping it clean and tidy and all of those things. And so I feel like that was a big theme.
Yes, for sure. So yeah, there are just so many tips. I mean, I think every year I come away with just realizing how important it is to declutter and how much easier taking care of that step will make everything else. And another theme that emerged for me this year, just as I was thinking about it, is how much I need to take inventory of what's coming in, because if I keep decluttering, but keep bringing it in at that same pace, then it's going to be hard to make real progress. So that's just something that really stood out to me this year that I'm going to really work on.
I see some people saying set a timer for 5 minutes, tiny tasks, reverse decluttering. I know that's something you had a session on, thinking about what stays in your space and what goes, the container concept. Where would I look for it first? That is a really good question when it comes to organizing. If you're not sure where to put something, well, if you were looking for it, where would you go? So lots of those. Leave the photos for last. Yes, there is nothing that says you have to do the tricky things like photos or sentimental items first, because those can be really quite a project to tackle. And so I am all for getting those. You know, whatever you are motivated, excited to do, and think that you can tackle in like a couple of hours, do that first and get that quick win.
For sure. All right, so now we're going to talk about organizing your information. So this is another category of things you need to organize. These are things like notes, courses, concepts you're learning, meal planning, your budget. Like this is not like tangible stuff, but it's information that you need to organize. So the major key to organizing information is not to store it in your head. You need a physical or digital copy with some sort of system. So really this is, again, kind of like all it takes to have your space organized is those two things. This is really all it takes is we should not be relying on our minds to hold all the information. That's something that can cause a lot more stress than we think it does because you're just constantly trying to remember, oh, I hope I don't forget this. I need to do this. I need to do this. Oh, what did they say about that meal planning method? Like you need to get those things out on paper or something digital so that they're not floating around in your head. And, you know, there's lots of research and people have shown that our brain is more for having ideas, not for storing information. So, you know, computers, even paper systems are going to do that better than our brains. So that's the really important takeaway for this is not to be trying to store all of this information just in your head. Now, it's totally fine to do this physically. Some people are like more like the pen and paper kind of people, more like a, you know, I want a binder or something like that. And some of us are more like we want to keep things digitally. Either way, that's totally fine. And it doesn't have to be all or nothing. You can keep some things digitally and some things physically, but you need one clear spot for each type of information. And I just wanted to kind of give you an example. Some places you can store this information, like I said, like an actual like physical binder. You could even just get a notebook and have like some kind of information on there. The Notes app on your phone is a place to start. That's also searchable, so you know you could just title them very informatively and you could search that. There's more, I would say, elaborate systems, and some of those we covered this week, but software like Notion, Evernote, Airtable, and there's so many more. There's really something for everyone. You can definitely go down a rabbit hole of researching the different ways you can store it, but those are just a few examples. And again, there's no right or wrong. Just pick your spot and system for each type of information. It's going to look a little different for every person and how your brain functions. So I don't have time to go through every detail. Like I said, there's already sessions of every type, but let's walk through an example of how you might organize things in a binder. Okay, so here are the categories that are in our binder, okay? First of all, reference things that you need to...
They probably can't see that very well on the little thing. Do you want to just show them on the screen or do you want me to actually open to it?
Oh, do you think they can't see it on the screen?
Well, they can't see us. We're just in the little corner.
Okay, yeah. Well, so reference is the first one. Okay, then we have food because that's a huge part of like grocery list, inventories like pantry and freezer and things like that, and meal planning. Then we have cleaning. So we need to take care of cleaning our homes. Finances is another big category that we need to manage. Then we have celebrations. This is one of my favorites. A lot of like just, you know, things like sending people birthday cards and Thanksgiving, Christmas, hosting big events, those types of things. This one is huge. Self-care is really important to have if you're creating a binder like this. And this includes, for me, anything that you would typically think of as self-care, but also hobbies, all sorts of health information, those types of things. I also put spiritual things like, you know, a Bible reading plan and things go in this section for me. I've also color coded. Now, you do not have to color code. Yeah. That's totally optional, but people love, one of the things they say about this binder is they love the color coding. And I also love that. So I know anytime it's like this color, we are talking about self-care. Then family is another one, keeping track of different things for your family. My favorite thing in this section is actually the page that talks about measurements for my family members. So like, you know, when you're ordering something online and it's like, you don't know how all the sizing, even for kids, the sizing is, you would think it would be more consistent, but it's really not. And I'm like, okay, you know, what's their measurement so I can order them the proper size of jeans or whatever. So very handy. Schedules, school schedules, passwords for school, things like that. And then there always needs to be that miscellaneous category, because as much as you try to give everything a home, there's always going to be those extras, and we don't want extra things floating around. I think we can go ahead and I'll show you just like a couple of my favorites there from the binder. Let's see. I need to get this back on. Oh, here we go. All right.
There we are.
Yay. Okay. So just to kind of give you an idea. And again, here, what's really important about this is that you don't have to have this exact thing. I mean, you totally can if you want this one that's done for you. But if
should we bump down the camera a little bit so I can see?
Yeah, can we make it a little darker?
Light just a little bit.
Yeah. So you can just get whatever notebook you have and make this work, or you could put it on your notes app on your phone. Like, it doesn't have to be like this. This is a great option if you want an out-of-the-box solution.
But you can just you can jot down what we're showing you here, make a list and be like, okay, I want a reference, I want a meal plan, and you can go make this yourself out of whatever materials you already have in your home.
Yeah, and that's another theme that we saw is whatever you have is best. So don't let, maybe this binder, you like it, but doesn't fit in your budget, or it doesn't work perfectly for you, or you just don't have it. So go ahead and take this information and start making a system, and you can start small. Like, I wouldn't recommend getting this binder and filling it out all at once.
That'd be a lot.
Yes. So you're going to start small. You're going to say, I want to start with my reference, and then I'll tackle budget and things like that. So we have our reference section.
So reference will just give you all sorts of various, this is doctor and insurance info.
Password tracker,
just like all of the random information that lives in your head. So then we get to our finance section here. And so here is all sorts of pages for bill payment and subscription trackers. How many subscriptions? We've all had the situation where we finally sit down, go through our bank statement, and it's like, oh, I've been paying $13.99 a month for that streaming service I completely forgot I had that I haven't touched for a year and a half. We've all been there, but if you write them down, at least you can know where to go to see what.
And you'll know what website. How many times am I even where do I go?
This has a username and password to write down so that you know how to get back into the thing that you subscribe to.
Yes, which
that might be useful if you're paying the money.
Yes,
so there's your finance, all sorts of different pages there. Savings tracker, that's a fun one. And then we get to food, which food is one of my favorite things in the world.
Yes. Who doesn't love food? So this is a section to keep track of all of your go-to meals, maybe even go-to orders at restaurants, if you do takeout, people's favorites, and then there's a place
Tons
to
of meal plans
plan all of your meals. So that's obviously a key component of any system is that you have some sort of plan for meals, and it doesn't have to be the traditional, I plan out my meals for the week. It can, the reverse meal planning was Crystal's session.
Yeah.
There are different ways of doing it, but we need some sort of plan usually instead of just not having a clue and then ending up, eating takeout all the time or something like that.
Then we come to the less exciting category of cleaning, but still needed.
Yes, it is needed. It is not my favorite. I'm much more into organizing and decluttering than I am into actually cleaning. Yes. But you can have schedules.
Oh, these are awesome. The when did I last pages.
That is everyone's favorite.
If you're making your own system, whether it's digital or in a binder or something, jot down creating a when did I last page, because this is where you can keep track of everything from car maintenance, when did I last get the oil changed? I have no idea when I last got the oil changed. When did I last change the air filter? When did I last vacuum the mattresses? When did I last dust the baseboards? Whatever those they're not the tasks that you're going to do every week as part of your cleaning routine or even every month. Keeping a list of when you last did maintenance tasks like that is going to save you the peace of mind of oh no, is it time for an oil change or is it not time for an oil change? You can check when you last did it on your when did I last page. So,
and I also, a big one for me is changing air filters. She knows I talk about this all the time because it's important to maintain, or bad things can happen, but I'm it's so hard to remember. Did I do that 2 weeks ago? Was it 2 months ago? Was it so that's a really helpful one. And then just various other cleaning schedules.
Things. Okay, then we get to something more fun than cleaning. Celebrations.
Yes, my favorite.
This is more fun information that lives in your head.
Yes. So in the celebrations, you would track things like people's birthdays. I also want to note that this one, we have a contents at the beginning of
they all have a contents.
Yes, at the beginning of each section.
Contents.
Contents. So that's something, if you're making a binder for yourself or using this one, that's super helpful that you know what is in there and where to find it. because yeah, a perpetual calendar is one of my faves, and all that means is like it has like each month and the days of the month, and then I write down important birthdays and anniversaries, and I use this year after year so that I don't forget someone's birthday or something that I wanted to remember. And then you can also do like party planning.
Ooh, a wish list.
Your own wish
list. I didn't even know there
list.
was a wish list in here.
And gift list. So like,
Yes.
you know how many times you've been with somebody and they've mentioned something and you're like, I need to remember that in like 4 months when their birthday is coming. So if you write it down as you go,
Yes.
you're more able to get better
And like
gifts for them.
that is the secret to giving people gifts that they absolutely love, is like throughout the year when it's not even close to a holiday or a time when you would give gifts, like pay attention to the things, like you go shopping with them and they like really linger over that, you know, new kitchen appliance or something, but they decide to pass it up. There's your hint. That is the thing to give them as a gift whenever the time rolls around.
Yes.
All right, then we get to self-care.
And this
There's a
is
whole section for this.
super important section that I think everyone should have. It's something that is easy to neglect, but it's very important. So a lot of things that I put in here are medical related, like who's my doctor? What's their phone number? Who's my kid's pediatrician? What's their phone number? Notes from doctor's visits. We also have symptom tracking.
Medication
And
tracker.
medication
I
tracking.
think I'm
And
gonna skip the symptom
I know
tracker.
some of us, you know, with chronic illnesses, it's really nice to be able to track our symptoms and like what might be our triggers and things like that. Our health goals.
There's the symptom tracker.
Yeah, that's one of my that's one of people's favorites. Really,
We'll
is
get to it.
the symptom tracker.
There we go. Yes.
To kind of map out your symptoms.
Yes, so this is just like tracking, and there's even, this one is like a very involved tracker, so we even have a whole page explanation of like how to use the symptom tracker. So, a couple of those.
Yes, and then our next section is
Family.
family. I would also include pets here.
Yes.
Those
Pets
are
and
family members as well. I don't have any pets, but Tasha,
I do.
Tasha does. I don't think Haley made any appearances.
She did
this
not.
year.
My dog was in the background of some of the lives, but she kept to herself and stayed laying down the whole time. She really likes to be with people. You all might, if you have a dog like that, you understand they just want to be glued to where you are. So.
Yeah. So, and this is like, I mean, starts with babysitting info for each child and their measurements. Like I said, measurements are like my favorite part of this. And then there always needs to be a miscellaneous section for when you don't know where else to put it, so you don't end up with just piles of papers and things like that.
And it's helpful because if you come to a paper and you're looking at the categories you've made, whether you have this binder or you've set up your own system and you're thinking, I just have no idea where this goes, odds are it probably goes in miscellaneous. Like if it's food, you know that it goes in food. If it's budget, you know that it goes in budget. And so this gives you an answer to the papers that you're like, I truly don't know where this one should live. It lives in miscellaneous.
Yes. So, and there's no right or wrong. Maybe in your brain, something lives in miscellaneous. Then that's right for you, whereas maybe someone else
Where
would put it elsewhere.
you look for it first, as Dana
Yes,
would
I mean,
say.
you say that's really a good question for everything. You know, not just stuff, but information as well. All right, I'm seeing some questions about the binder, so I just want to explain a little bit. This binder right here, you can purchase it. I'm going to put up a link for the physical. There's a physical and a printable. But again, like we said, if this is not in your budget or you're not ready for it, maybe you need to do decluttering and you're just not ready to make something like this, then you don't need to get it now. And don't let that stop you from using what we we basically walked through it for you, and you can even go to the page and there's like images of this, so you can like make one for yourself if you need to do that, or start small. But if you're interested in this is like the physical mail to your door.
It'll look just like what we showed you,
Yes,
like
it
everything
also
that's in there.
comes
In a pretty box.
In a pretty box, which who doesn't love pretty boxes?
Exactly.
So it comes in a nice box, and you know it's already done for you, so you can start filling it out. And when you do buy the physical version, you'll also get the print it yourself included. So if you want additional pages, or there's some sections like the pet section, for example, we didn't put in here because not everyone has pets, but you can print and add to them. Now, make sure you note there is a coupon code, okay?
Yes, don't miss the coupon code.
Don't miss the coupon code. It's already on sale a little bit, but that coupon code will give you an additional 60% off. It's right up there on the screen. Go HQV 2024 Home Binder. That link is also in the description. So if you go to the description and just below the link, I also put the coupon code. So it's really easy for you to find that coupon code so that you can get additional amount off. So that's one option for you, is you can get the physical. Now, if you're someone who is more interested in printing it out yourself, or maybe you live internationally where shipping is really kind of cost prohibitive and things like that, then we have the print it yourself option. So you don't get anything in the mail, but you get every single one of these files. Like you get this cover, you get this spine, you get these beautiful page, divider, I guess you call them, files, all the files in here, so that you can print it out for yourself. So that's another option for you. It's also on sale, and also the exact same coupon code will get you 60% off of that one. So those are options for you. We will give one of these away, I think, when we're done with this presentation.
Yes, we will.
So we'll be giving one of those away as well. So those are just some options for you if you want to create a binder and just a system for holding all of your information. But again, doesn't have to be this one, but we do want to make sure that we have some sort of a system available to
get information organized. It's getting whatever it is, whether it's in that binder, in a system you created yourself, it's out of your head, on paper, on a device, wherever it is that works for you, so that that does not have to live in your head and cause you stress.
For sure. All right, here's some sessions that go with information that you can screenshot these or take a photo. These are some meal planning ones. I already talked about Crystal's reverse meal planning.
Yes.
That's a more, I'd say that's an easier, it's kind of an easier way to meal plan. And make sure you use up what you have. And we have some others here on the screen. Then if you're looking for finance and budget, and I know I saw some comments about some of these sessions, you can screenshot this, and this will give you some help with your finances and budget and getting that type of information organized. And then we have general information. So there's one other binder that I have, which is my family's important documents binder. So you can look at how to do that. That's the things like your birth certificate, your passport, like those important things you never want to leave. And that's what you would put in your fire safe. And then we have one on how to organize your medical information. So you can screenshot these for that. And again, we have the binder and the digital options. And here you can screenshot this for a session. Chrissy actually did one on how to create a home file. And here's one on digital productivity, mastering Notion. So Notion is what you would use if you really want to, it's super duper DIY. So you really want to get in the nitty gritty and geek out on, that kind of productivity stuff.
That is what Laura wants to do. I will
That's
have
me.
You all know. It's not necessarily, I'm a little hit and miss on if I want to do all of that. But if you want Laura's personality, that'll be right up your alley.
And this would be a perfect session for you to watch or refer back to your notes. So tell us, are you more of a paper person, a digital person, or maybe you could be a little of both?
Sure.
But let us know if you're more of a paper or a digital. What do you think you are, Tasha?
Ooh, okay. I will say for Get Organized HQ Virtual, I'm very paper-based.
You actually are.
Oh, so paper-based. I have my planner. For this year's event, I wrote out the to-do list.
You should see it.
In October of last year.
She really had the entire to-do list from even through now.
I did, and I broke it out by month. This is not exactly how I would recommend that people plan your normal life things, but when it's the 8th year that we've done Get Organized HQ Virtual, I knew what needed to get done, I knew what timeline it was, and I had stapled into my planner my January to-do list, my February to-do list, my March to-do list. Those started in December, and so I'm very paper-based for that. I did make a digital copy because Laura is always afraid, what if my planner caught fire?
Yep.
For some reason, what would we do then? And we didn't have all the lists. So
I'm big on information security, making sure we can always access it.
So I typed my whole list into a digital thing so that I knew when Laura would ask if I had that somewhere, I could be like, yeah, it's there. Did I ever look at it again? No, I did not. But it was there so that if we needed to reference it, it was okay. And then I lived and died by my physical planner leading up to this. So
yeah, I would say I'm a little bit more digital, especially for project management. And I collaborate with a lot of people. A lot of people touch it, so it's a little hard to have it all on paper. So I'm more digital. Although I really like to cook from printed recipes. I have found.
Really? Okay, that is the one thing I am digital on.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my goodness, that's so weird. I just started reorganizing them last week, and I'm super excited. I'm
now I'm almost am I missing out on some part of life that I should start cooking from physical recipes?
Well, I'll tell you what, I will finish my project and I'll make a YouTube video about it, and then you can watch it and decide if you're missing out. But for some reason, I just don't like having digital stuff in my kitchen. I really like the paper, and then I get out a pen and I jot on it. If I did a different amount of something, or if I left something out, so when I refer back to it, I can remember like what I actually did. So when it comes to recipes, I guess I'm more of a physical recipe person. So I see tons of answers to this question. I think we're pretty evenly split between people who want to use paper and people who want to organize digitally. So I think that's really cool, really fun. But again, the point is just to have a system. All right, now let's talk about organizing our time. Okay, like we've already mentioned, when we're talking about organizing our time, there's really nothing you can do to literally organize, like time is time. But what you're really doing is managing yourself. So you're getting yourself to do the things that you want to do in the amount of time that you have. I will also say when it comes to managing time, one of the most important things is being realistic. I mean, I guess that's really true about probably everything. But being realistic is super duper important because it's so easy to think that we can do more, and it just doesn't work that way. So when it comes to time management, again, I'm not going to give a whole entire, I could probably create a whole course on this. We're not going to dive that deep, but I do want to say that it starts with managing your days. And I think this is not necessarily the most popular thing out there. I've seen so many people just say you need to start by making a plan of where you want to go in 5 years and breaking all that down by year, and then breaking all that down by quarter, and then breaking that all down by month, and then breaking that all down by week. Okay?
Don't do what I just described that I do.
Yeah, exactly.
I really think that something that is so project-based, like Get Organized HQ Virtual, it is one massive project. So that's a little bit different. That is not how I plan my I'm a runner and I love, training for events and stuff. I don't plan some of my hobbies and my life the same way that I plan my projects.
Yes. And that's not to say that you shouldn't begin with the end in mind. Like I already talked about in the opening, we need to think about where we're going and not just get so focused on the little day-to-day details that we don't think about where we're going. I think there's a lot of value in that and thinking ahead. But where the rubber actually meets the road and where you're going to feel like you can make a difference is in your days. And what I found, because I'm a little bit of a productivity junkie type of person, Tasha's kind of laughing because she knows that's true. So I'd get all caught up in these elaborate plans and all these things I wanted to do. And what would happen inevitably is I would kind of go down that road and then I would start to feel really, really frustrated because I thought, wow, it doesn't matter what plans I make, they always get derailed. Either some life circumstances happens that I couldn't really help, or it's me. I'm the one who derails them because I don't follow through on what I had intended. And I would just end up really frustrated. And I realized that frustration was coming because I really didn't have control of my dates. And no matter what system you're using, no matter what your goals are, where you actually make the difference is in the day-to-day, being able to get yourself to do what you need to do day after day. So I recommend a really simple system for managing your days. That's called the 3-bucket system. Again, you can use the planner that we made for this, or you can just use any notepad that you have. You can do this today. After we're done with the live, you could do this for the rest of the day. But this is the system that gave me back control of my days. And it's really simple. So I love that anyone can do it. So you have bucket 1. So you're dividing your list into buckets. Bucket 1 is your top 3 to 5 priorities, the top 3 to 5 things you want to accomplish that day, no more. That's the big important thing. You can't put 10 things on there. You can put 3 to 5 things on there, and that's going to give you back control because no matter what, you are usually able to complete bucket 1. You're going to prioritize that, and that's going to give you back control because now instead of being I have all these things I want to do, and here's this big long list, and I might be able to get half of it done. You feel really out of control, and you don't know when you're done. You don't know when to be satisfied. So this is going to give you back control, and you're going to know you're going to do those particular things because they are the most important. And then we're going to move on to bucket 2. Bucket 2 are your appointments. This is the easiest bucket because we typically know what our appointments are, and most of us go to our appointments anyway. I have a doctor's appointment, I have a meeting with somebody. That's bucket 2, so that's a relatively easy bucket. And then bucket 3 is your wish list. This is what you'd like to get done. This would be great to get done. If you're able to get bucket 1 done, you've done your appointments. Yeah, you can do bucket 3, but you don't have to. And that's what the difference is. Because before I used this system, I was really writing a wish list of what I wished I could get done.
Yeah.
If the day went according to plan and there were no interruptions and I was operating at max energy with max self-discipline that day, and that didn't happen all the time. So that's how I like to structure things now. And to take it just one step further, we have a little bit of structure that we like to give to bucket 1 to make sure we're getting the most important things done, and that's called hop. So we're gonna hop to it in bucket 1. All right, so the H stands for habits. So the first thing you're gonna always put in bucket 1 is the habit that you're working on. So whatever you're working on to make that a habit, whether it is, maybe you want to wash the dishes every night before you go to bed, or maybe you want to do a 10-minute tidy, or maybe you're working on decluttering 5 items a day, or whatever you're trying to do until it becomes a habit, that's always going to go into that H. And here's the deal. I know we've heard all these numbers about how long it takes to make a habit. I've done a bunch of research, and it's anywhere from like 13 days to 265. Like, it's a huge number of days. So you just do it until you feel like, this is really a habit. Some habits are going to be like about a month. Some take 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. That's fine. There's no race, but that thing is going to repeat day after day after day until you feel like either you have it more project-based and you're done with that project, or you're like, this isn't really a priority for me anymore. So that's your habit. Then O stands for objectives, and those are like your to-do. So that's 1 to 3 items that you really need to get done. Like maybe there's a work project. Maybe you really need to get the laundry done because people are going to run out of clothes to wear.
I've been in that situation.
Yes. So it's just whatever those top 1 to 3 things are that you need to get done that day. And then the P stands for passions. So you want to make sure that you have time in every day to do something that kind of you love, that lights you up, that grounds you.
This is really where your self-care comes in.
Yes, for sure. So like things like maybe you want to do yoga, maybe you want some time for reading, maybe you want some extra time to go on a date with your, significant other, or things like that.
Going on a walk even, just something that is beyond just like, okay, I did the laundry today, I washed the dishes today, I went to work today, but like, what did you do today that brought you joy to your day?
And you can ask, like, what do I need to do for me to take care of me today? And that would go in the passions. So it's really that simple. That is the 3-bucket method that we like to use.
I need to take us down again so they can see all the
yes.
sessions.
I'm going to go ahead and have to click over here.
And I will say about the objectives. So we say like 3 to 5, but if you have like a really big project that you're tackling, or maybe you have a lot of appointments that day, or maybe you have a chronic health condition, like 3 to 5, I would say, is on the maximum side. Like there could be a day where your objective is one thing, and that is okay. So don't make 3 to 5 objectives some like goal that you have to attain, and if you haven't hit that, you failed or something. Nothing like that. It really is about knowing yourself and also knowing what you can accomplish in a day. And I would say if you're going to err on the side of under scheduling yourself.
Right, because once you get those done, you can always move on to your wish list and do more things, but you're going to feel more satisfied. And sometimes I think the problem with time management is not that we're actually doing anything wrong, it's just how we feel about it. We just wish we could get more done, which, I mean, this is like me classically, because part of it is because I have so many interests. I would love to be able to do them, which is an excellent problem to have, but I needed to change my perspective and realize that I was really accomplishing the right amount. So you can go ahead and screenshot this this slide.
Slide on the sessions.
Yes, on the sessions. That will help you when it comes to organizing your time. So many of these sessions, whenever I see these, I'm like, oh man, these are so good. Like every single slide, I've been like, these are so good. We got great feedback on all of these. So you can go ahead and screenshot that for the sessions on organizing your time. So let us know in the comments, have you actually tried the 3-bucket system? I know that a ton of you have tried this before. Because we get messages all the time about how game-changing it was. A lot of you have the planner that uses the system. So let us know if you've tried it, kind of how it worked for you. And we would love to hear from you. And we are about to get to the making you actually do some work phase.
They can't see us yet.
Oh, they can't actually see us. Well,
she held up her pen and paper, which is what you need for the next step of this. So if you're just joining us, maybe hopped in a little late. I saw some people in the comments saying they're getting up, getting their coffee, joining us this morning. Welcome. I'm a little bit jealous. I wish I had another cup of coffee right now.
Yes.
But make sure you've got something to write with and something to write on. I hope those up in the opposite order. But as long as you have both of those things, you will be golden, because we are going to work on making an action plan specific for you so that you know what your next step is.
For sure. And I just want to say, since there's new people coming in, just a couple quick announcements before we go to the kind of next section where we're going to make the action plan is if you want to get the pass, which is, going to give you lifetime access. Maybe you've missed out on some, you want to revisit some, or you want all of those bonuses. I'll put that link up. Well, no, I won't. I cannot do it while I'm in the slideshow. But that link is below. So you can go ahead and grab the pass. The price is going to go up by 6 times.
Yeah, if anyone knows what the word for that is, please put it in the comments.
It's not like doubling or tripling.
Yeah, we're not doubling it. We're not tripling it. We are multiplying it by 6. So if there are any like mathematicians in the audience, let us know. Because
and also, how far does that go? Can you like 7x something?
Yeah, like what if you were like multiplying it by 28?
I don't think there's words for all that. Maybe there's not a word. I don't know. But it's going up from $49 to $297. So you want to get it now if you've been interested in that. And then also, I think that's the first link in the description. The second link in the description will take you to enter the giveaways.
Giveaway!
We'll definitely be giving some stuff away pretty soon.
Like the binder.
Yes, like the binder.
Oh, also, hint on the giveaways. So, if you win the giveaway, we're going to give away some all access passes. We're going to give away some binders, things like that. And if you're like, I've already purchased it, you have 2 options. We can either refund you and then you get it for free. Or if you're like, oh man, I have a friend who would absolutely love that, you can also give it to them as a gift. You just let us know which one you would prefer if you are the winner and you've already purchased it. So,
yes, for sure. So that's where you can get entered to the giveaway to make sure you're entered. You only need to enter once for all of them. All right.
I see you can call it a super deal if you're multiplying it by 6.
Super deal. I like that. Or exponentially. That's good.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, hextuple.
Oh my. I don't think I can say.
Maybe hexagon would be 6-sided. So.
All right.
Man, we are coming up with new words today.
All right. So. All right. Now we get to the fun part. Again, get yourself anything in the world that you can write on.
It can be the junk mail from yesterday.
Exactly. And any instrument that you want to write with. So I think everyone should be in a place where they have this. If you want to use like a tablet, your note.
If you want to type it on a notes app on your phone.
But we need you to actually do some work here, okay? So this is going to be fun. And we want to make sure that everyone comes away with an actual action plan. So Tosh and I have our little notebooks ready to go. Okay. So this is going to be super fun. All right. So we'll put timers on the screen while we do this. So for 5 minutes, what we're going to want you to do is jot down any takeaways or action items you can think of without referring back to your notes or anything. So just kind of reflect what stood out to you. It can be a theme that stood out to you. It can be a session that you're like, I want to rewatch that session. It can be a specific, maybe it's wildly specific. You're like, I need to go declutter my old batteries or something. I don't know. I was looking over there because I know I have a few in there.
That's what's going to be on Laura's list.
Yes. So whatever comes to mind, just take 5 minutes and jot it down, okay? And then we're going to go through the next step and you're going to come away with a really good action plan from this. So let me get the timer up on the screen. Yay. Think it's working. All right, and I don't think we'll talk very much during this because you couldn't write if we're talking.
Right,
so
I don't want to distract you with me jabbering on. So.
Yeah, so you're just gonna see us over here, taking notes and doing the exercise for ourselves. If you're just joining us, we've got a timer up for you to jot down your takeaways and action items, and we'll come back after that. All right, so now that timer has ended, let us know if you want to share any of your takeaways or action items that you got. You can go ahead and put those in the comments for us.
Would you like to hear one of my strangely specific ones?
Oh, yes, I would love.
Okay, let me know in the comments, were you at Christine's keynote session? Was that Wednesday night? Ooh, the days run together. I'm pretty sure it was Wednesday
run together. Yes, it was Wednesday.
Okay, this is event number 16 right now, so forgive us that they kind of run together of times that we've been live. But okay, she had a very specific shower cleaning tool, and I went to look it up and decide if I need one for my shower.
Oh yes. Oh, that reminds me. I want to get a steamer.
A steamer.
A steaming cleaning tool.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yes. So if your things may be as strangely specific as research, I think it was like an OXO shower cleaning wand thing.
Yeah. So these, like for me, I mean, I know you can't read them. I was just gonna hold them up for you, but I have things that are very broad and general, like pay more attention to what's coming back into the home. It's like kind of just a broad, and I have very specific, like declutter batteries, research steamers, things like that. So this should be kind of brain dumpy and hodgepodgey. That's normal. Do you want to share anything that anyone else
I do.
is saying?
Let's see. Someone says you'll love having a steamer.
Oh, awesome.
So vote for that. I see the 5x5 method of cleaning. I see creating a home binder, getting rid of old papers, tiny tasks, cleaning in quadrants. Diane in Denmark's top of the hour method. I know that was a really popular session. Like, you cannot watch Diane in Denmark and not come away just feeling like motivated and better about yourself and like ready to have a good day. So she is so awesome like that. Let's see. The fact that not everything can be a priority. I feel like we haven't talked about that one as much on the lives.
So
but
good.
It is so true. If everything is a priority, nothing is a priority. And that means, like, that applies to all of these spaces that we're talking about with organizing your spaces, organizing information, organizing your time. If every item you own is a priority, then none of the items can be a priority. If every bit of information is a priority, then what is actually going to stand out in your head as important? Like, that is an excellent one.
All right, so let's go ahead on to step 2. All right, and here on step 2 is that for 5 minutes, we are going to basically do the same thing, keep adding to the list, but now we're going to be able to consult our notes and add helpful takeaways or themes.
And if you already consulted your notes on the last one, it's okay. It's not terribly cheating.
Yes.
It's fine.
It's okay. But all right. Yep. So we're going to go ahead and do that now.
I'm going to pull up the schedule to go through.
I've got the little handy notebook.
Oh, yes.
If you are just now joining us, we're doing a little exercise. You can see the directions up on the screen, so just keep doing that. The timer's up. All right. So now that we've done that, let us know if you have any more takeaways or themes after you consulted your notes. Kind of let us know what that is. And then in the next step, we're going to go actually do something with the things that we've written down, because what you should have now is a big list that you cannot tackle all at once.
Right.
So that was the goal, but we want to get it all out of our brains and onto paper. And if you feel like you need more, go ahead. Like after this is done, keep going. I kind of call this brain dumping. I have more than one video on my YouTube channel about brain dumping because it is so helpful. Like it's so good. It's such a good thing to do, because otherwise we just feel like we're trying to carry around all this stuff and we don't want to forget any of it. So by simply writing it down, and add to this list as you think of it. Like, I mean, if you have a little notebook like this, like I literally carry this in my purse with a pen, so that whenever I think of like, oh, okay, there's something else that I need to add to this, I don't feel like I have to keep it in my head. I can write it down right then. Bonus tip, if I'm out and about and I don't have my notebook, or I just don't feel like I can get it out, I literally add it to my reminders on my phone. I say, if I do this, it's probably gonna talk to me. Hey Siri, add this tip to, yeah, it really did listen to me. It's gonna start talking. Okay, she got it off. But I say, hey, digital
device
assistant
that I'm talking to.
Yes, remind me at whatever time to add this to my list, and so that way I don't forget and I get it captured, so it's not all floating around in our head. So you should start to be already feeling better that at least you got it here and you're not going to forget it, and you can consult it later.
Yes. All right, let's see what people are saying in the comments. The timer. I know that came up several times, of like setting a timer to do something and having that visual of like how long. Hey, we have timers on these. It's like we're already applying what we've learned. Look at that.
Yeah, you're already doing it.
Excellent. I see meal planning. Okay, let me tell you, during Get Organized HQ Virtual, I make my famous go to Culver's.
Oh, well, that's good.
So meal
they have
planning,
good grilled cheese.
yes, meal planning is something I definitely want to get back into now that we are wrapping up this week and kind of getting into a more normal routine. Jennifer Maker, she talked about the craft organization binder. So it could be a project like that. Even something like setting up a binder like the one we were talking about, or the binder that Jennifer showed last night for craft supplies, like that is an organizing project in and of itself. Shop your stuff. Look what you already have.
That. That is so true.
Yes. Top of the hour by Diane. I see Zoe Kim's session on the mindset shifts and key questions that will get your home decluttered. Kay's thoughts that organizing is like a puzzle or a video game.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. Yes. So every item in your home needs to be managed, cleaned, and moved. How many items do you want to have to take care of?
Oh, all right. Okay, so let's go to the next one. This one's going to only be 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Okay.
Speed round.
Well, actually, I think this should be easier. I want you to write down what is stressing you out the most about your home. So not necessarily thinking back to what we learned this week, but just no more than 2 minutes it should take to write, just wherever you are, you don't even have to walk around. You probably know what is stressing me out the most.
I'm writing it right now. The timer hasn't even started.
Okay, Tasha is getting a head start. I'm going to have to change it to 2 minutes here.
There it goes.
Okay, so whatever is stressing you out the most. And if you feel like you have this done, you can go ahead and put in the comments. If you feel like sharing, you obviously don't have to share, but if you feel like sharing, you can go ahead and put that in the comments. For when the timer ends, we'll share a few things. I've got some fun ones to share.
Oh, good. I feel like this is too easy of a question.
I thought the same thing. I was like, wow, it's really easy for me to come up with this.
I know.
All right, so now that you've written down what is stressing you out the most, do you want to share something?
Yeah, so the first one that came to mind is I have a closet. I very conveniently commandeered my husband's office closet. Wasn't that nice of me?
Oh, yes.
I know. That's where I keep all of the things that I'm ready to donate and take to a donation center, but it is like getting to the point where it's going to come out of the closet if I don't like gather it up and actually take it. And so I need to like get all of that stuff and remove it, because that is honestly, like, ironically, the place where I'm holding all of the clutter I would like to get rid of is the most cluttered place in my house right now. So that is a huge one. Like, when you do all of this decluttering, put it on your calendar to make sure you get your donations to a donation center.
Okay, mine is kind of embarrassing.
I'm ready.
The thing that's stressing me out the most is I probably haven't cleaned the toilet in my like primary bedroom for like over 2 weeks, and it actually looks like, you know what, it's how it starts to kind of get brown. Why have I not done that? Because every time I go in there, I'm like stressed, and then I realized, you know what, that's a tiny task.
It is.
I was reading the cheat sheet, and it actually said from Ashley's session an example of you could just clean the toilet and not the whole bathroom. And you know what, that's why I haven't done it. I'm like, well, I need to have time to clean our entire shower and our bathtub and our sinks. And I'm like, no, I could literally just take 2 minutes to clean the toilet. So that's my big aha.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, and just getting those small things done. It's funny how some of them are bigger tasks and some of them are smaller tasks. Like both of the things we mentioned, those are pretty like I mean, you can clean the toilet this afternoon.
I can.
You really can. I should text her before she goes to bed at night and be like,
should.
did you clean your toilet? Because so many times, some of the things that are hanging over our head and stressing us, I've seen people mention the concept in the comments, that whole concept of eating your frog. We talked about that at one of the midday meetups of, just getting the thing that's hanging over your head done first. So many of those are actually relatively quick tasks.
I thought my favorite midday meetup was eating your frog, and I think I want to keep doing those. Like, yeah, we can. We'll do some more of those.
But let's see what other people
later.
are saying in the comments. So I see paper and mail pile up. I know there's a lot of sessions. If you have the all access pass or if you have notes on the sessions, we had a whole category of days on dealing with paper, because there's just something about paper that it feels important because it's in black and white letters on a page. And it can be overwhelming for sure. I see another one on paper. So yes, lots about that. And piles of stuff, lots of comments about just getting things decluttered. And that's where it's so important to just get started, right? Maybe you can't declutter the entire garage or the entire office. I saw people talking about storage rooms or storage closets. Maybe you can't do it all today, but can you do one shelf, one section, one just a little area? Break that down and see what you can accomplish. And then the real key when you're decluttering, make sure you actually get those things out of your house entirely. Don't be like me and just move them to a different area so that they can overflow out of your decluttering closet.
Sure.
But yes, getting the office decluttered, getting trash decluttered, using the 2020 rule, time management, just see a whole lot of things about decluttering. So I think that was a big theme for sure.
All right, so now that we know what is stressing us out the most, we're gonna go on to our next step. And this is where you're gonna look at the list of everything that you've written down. Don't stress if you don't get to the whole thing, but you're gonna mark each item as to whether or not it's space of stuff, so that'd be like an S, an I for information, or T for time categorized. And just categorizing it like this is already gonna help you see how everything fits together. So
and this is everything you've written down. So it's not just the specific things that are stressing you. Also look back at that list that you made of your key takeaways and the things you want to start applying. Everything that you've jotted down throughout this whole entire brain dump. Think to yourself, is it a space and stuff? Is it information? Or is it time that I'm organizing so that we can kind of get it categorized?
All right, so let's begin categorizing. And if you want to add in your own category, if that makes sense to you, feel free to do that too. I mean, and don't stress if they're not exactly it's not a perfect, it's just to give you some kind of guideline.
Also, we had this whole discussion when we were planning this. I would say that if it's digital, it's space and stuff. Like emails, digital files. So I had some of those on my list. So you can label this as information also, but in my opinion, they're digital space and stuff.
All right, so now we should have everything categorized. I don't think there's a question to really ask with this one, but hopefully you have gone through and categorized. Like I said, don't stress if it's not perfect. Maybe some you feel like don't even have a category. On the fly, I added a category for myself of concept. So there were just some general concepts that I kind of wanted to keep top of mind, like focus on what is coming in was one of the themes, almost like a concept or a theme. I would say that's technically information, but I really wanted to denote something that was kind of like a theme rather than like a piece of information. So like I said, there's no right or wrong. It's just to hopefully give you a little bit of structure. I guess I am curious, did you find that whether it was time/self, information, or spaces and stuff, that one of them tended to have a lot more?
And the other thing I would say with that, were you surprised by that? Because I think sometimes we can think, oh, like my time is what's stressing me. And then you're like, oh, actually, it's because I have all this information in my head and I haven't gotten it out on paper. Or we think that it's our space that's stressing us, but actually it's that we haven't figured out how to utilize our time in order to get the best things done each day. And so it can kind of help you figure out where making progress is going to be the most impactful.
Yes. And I personally thought that I was going to have the most space stuff, but I actually had the most information.
Really?
Yeah. So
I had the most space stuff, I think.
Okay, cool.
Well, maybe. It was a little split.
A lot. Let's see. I see stuff. Stuff seems to be
stuff and time. Yes.
Okay. Space and stuff seems to be pretty popular. Time, info. Okay. So we're kind of all over the map as far as that goes. All right. So let's go ahead to our next category that we get to do for 2 minutes. We're going to tally up our markings. So let's get that on the screen. Go back here. Okay. So tally up your markings. This should give you an idea of which category to focus on first. All right.
Yes. So the tally being how many space and stuff do you have? How many information do you have? And how many time? Like of what you denoted?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm literally just making tally marks. Doesn't need to be perfect or beautiful.
All right. So I see a couple people who've been commenting what their tallies are. Do you have yours tallied up?
Yes. Basically, I had almost tied on concept, which was my invented category, space and stuff, information, and not that much on time.
Okay. Yeah. I had the most on space and stuff. It was actually pretty even. Like space and stuff, and then one below that was time, and then one below that was information. So.
All right. So by doing this, this is just going to give you an idea of maybe where you should focus first. Like what is it that needs the most attention for you? Is it your spaces? Is it your information? Or is it like time? And that might just give you a guideline of where you should begin, just because you have the most things in that area. All right. And then for 2 minutes, we're going to look through our list and circle anything that's like similar or repeating. We're trying to come up with themes that kind of stand out to us to help us decide what to start with that's going to have the most impact. So you have about 2 minutes to work on that. I mean, you could even like star something here that you just know is really important to you. Like
Right.
you didn't have to have written it down, but there might be something you're like, oh, I really want to do that because it excites you. You feel motivated. You know it's stressing you the most. So just kind of
what are you drawn to the most on your list? Either because you wrote it the most or just because it's what you're drawn to.
all right, so here's, I mean, I know, like, I was just gonna hold up what mine looks like. I know you can't actually read that, but I've starred some things and gotten out some repeating ideas. So
Was it cleaning your toilets?
Well, actually, it should be.
Where is it on your list? I'm going to start.
Right there.
All right, we're going to put a big star next to cleaning the toilets.
Yeah, that is true.
Everyone post in the Facebook group tonight, if you're in the Tindy Facebook group, and say, Laura, did you clean your toilet today?
All right, well, I've got some mega accountability.
Exactly.
So I think it's really going to happen. And I really feel better once I do this.
She's been talking about this for like a week as her example of the thing that's stressing her. So
I know, yeah, I really should get it done. Maybe I just wanted to have a good example.
There you go. All right, but yeah, if you want to share in the comments what were your repeating themes and ideas. I already mentioned one of mine. I've got to get back on the like meal planning train. And it's okay. You know what? Like sometimes we have busy seasons of life. This week is a really busy season of life for us, and so it is totally okay. And there's no guilt or judgment when you're looking at these things that you really want to do. This is opening the door for what's next for you. This isn't looking back and feeling guilt that it isn't already done or feeling any sort of like heaviness about that. This is intended to say, I am ready to move forward. I'm ready to take what I've learned at this event and start applying it and start doing something with it. And that is what this list is centered around. So we want to be forward thinking, positive thinking. There is no there's no judgment here. Be kind to yourself in your self-talk when you look at this list.
All right, for sure. Okay, so the next one, and these are all going to be similar. Based on your list, what's your next action step when it comes to organizing your space and your stuff? So
We know what Laura's is.
Yes, we do. So you're going to just write down at least your next action step, and we're going to start with this category, then we're going to go to information, and then we're going to go to time, okay? So you could do your first one. If you really want to keep going, you could list out 3, but you don't want to list out like 20. Yeah. That's, what are maybe the next 3 and put those in order. So the next 1 to 3.
So just thinking about your spaces and stuff right now, what are you going to do next?
And this is not like, this is the next best thing. Not everything, but what is the next thing you should do? And if you guys want to be sharing as we go, you can go ahead and put that in. We've had several people, I think, sharing what theirs is. We already know what mine is.
Yes. Well, mine is taking those donations in for sure, so.
All right. All right, so we'll go ahead and do this again. Now we're gonna repeat this when it comes to organizing your information. What is the next thing you should do? Again, 1 to 3 things you should do when it comes specifically to organizing information. And you can go ahead and share it in the comments if you feel like it as well. All right, so I wrote my next 3 actions and information. You guys can share those if you want. We'll kind of revisit at the end once we get through all of them. But when we go on to the next one, we are going to categorize the next 1 to 3 action items when it comes to organizing your time or yourself. So like habits you want to implement, time management strategies, planning, those kinds of things you actually need to do. So go ahead and write down your top 1 to 3. And again, you can consult back on what you've already written. So you're not just like starting from scratch. You're looking at, okay, what did you already write? What did you already identify? And if you want extra accountability for these, I think posting in our attendee Facebook group would be
it's a great idea.
A really good idea, so you can kind of get some accountability, report back. This is also super random, but I love these pins. These are like the newer friction pins where like, you can like, there's not a cap. What do you call that? I don't know what you call it. Click pins. Yes, I couldn't think of the word click pin. But the thing about friction is that they're erasable. And multiple times I have erased them. So if you haven't tried out friction pins, you should definitely do that.
Awesome. Not sponsored, just Laura's favorite pin.
Just one of my pins that I'm loving, especially when I'm doing this kind of stuff that I might want to erase. All right, so now that we have that done, we only have one more step in this process, and then we're gonna, we got other extra special treats. We'll probably give something away right after that. But for this one, we are going to go ahead and take your top action step from each category and put them on your calendar for this week. If it's a longer project, then you're going to put the first step on your calendar. But literally, whatever calendar you have, whether you use your phone, whether it's a physical calendar, whatever it is, go ahead and put them on your calendar. Because if we leave them here, there's a good chance that we won't get them done because they'll just be ideas. So I need you to literally say, I am like, for example, for myself, on my calendar for like 3 p.m. today, I am putting clean my toilet. So go ahead and put them on your calendar. All right. So, great job. You did it. You now have an action plan and something on your calendar that you're actually going to get done within the next week. So great job. Again, you can be sharing in the comments what that is if you would like to. But I have a couple other things that I want to mention here. First of all, we talked about this in the beginning. Celebrate every win, no matter how small.
For sure.
So like when I clean the toilet, we're gonna celebrate.
We're gonna have a party.
Okay? But celebrate each time that you make these actions. You're gonna put these on your calendar. When you do those, come celebrate. Come tell us in the Facebook group. And it may seem like, okay, you put 3 things on your calendar, and maybe none of those things are just like monumental. You're not gonna like declutter your whole house next week, or even probably a whole room for many of us. But as you get those 3 things done, you're learning how to make promises to yourself and actually keep them. And that habit is going to sustain you. And that is going to be the difference between coming back here next year and not having implemented much, and coming back here next year and being like, my life is totally different. Because now I know how to apply the different things that I have learned and get them done. So that's why we want to celebrate each and every one of those things and really be patient with your progress. Like I said, imagine where we're going to be next year when you come to this exact same wrap party in 2025. Wow, it's already it's going to be 2025 next year. If you've taken just those small, consistent steps regularly, and really consistency is so much more important than what you can get accomplished in the next week.
Yes.
If you can apply these things really consistently, you're going to come back, and it may not feel like you're making just a ton of progress if you look back in a week and maybe even in a month. I know for myself, I get so frustrated because I just want the results now. And we're putting in a lot of work, and it's really hard. And sometimes you're not going to see a dramatic transformation within just a few weeks. But if you stick with it for a few months, you are absolutely going to see a difference. And that's also why it's so important to do the celebrating the small wins, because those are the actions that are going to add up to something big. So I really do want you to be patient with your progress. And one thing that helps me with that when I start to get discouraged, not just with decluttering and organizing, but with life, when it gets hard, I think about my why. And we're not going to take the time to do it now because we've already taken a lot of time. But it might be beneficial if you have a big goal of getting more organized and decluttered, if you would just take out a notebook and literally write down why you want to do this. And it can be anything from big reasons, like you want your kids to grow up in an environment that's very positive. That's a big deal. But maybe it's something really, really small, like you just, you want to be able to find your shoes, whatever it is. Write those whys down, and when it starts to get hard, go revisit those. And remember, this is why I want to do this. This is why it's important. And that can really keep you motivated to keep on going, even when it gets hard. And one other thing I want to say about this kind of was prompted by a question I saw in the Facebook group. And I saw somebody say like, I've been trying all these things and I've been trying all these different methods and I feel just really overwhelmed and I haven't made hardly any progress. Some of you may feel that way. You may feel like I've tried a lot of things. That's okay. You can still make progress. And what a lot of people said to her is exactly what I would say. And that is, you've come to Get Organized HQ Virtual and you've been able to hear from a lot of people. And you've been able to hear a lot of different styles of organizing and decluttering and all of that. Why don't you, especially if you're feeling overwhelmed, pick one and stick with it for a few months? Because if we try to declutter in this manner and then this manner and then that manner, it can get really overwhelming. So pick a system and stick with it for a few months and see how that works for you, and pick the one that resonates the most with you. We are all in different seasons of life. We're all in different situations. So one system or method may resonate more with one person and another may resonate more with someone else. So pick the one that resonates the most with you and then give it a chance to work by doing it on a very consistent basis. And I think that is how you're really going to see the most progress. And then also, don't be afraid to do those tiny tasks. Like, don't be afraid when you think of something to do, just do it. You don't have to make a big production and add it to your planner, but like, you can just go do the thing. And I know a lot of people, even while they're watching this, end up doing that exact thing. Yeah, I just really want to make sure that we stick with it, that we pick a method, and that we're just start getting things done. If it takes less than 2 minutes, just go ahead and do it. Yeah. All right. So what are people saying?
I saw one person's why is because they're retiring. So that's an exciting why. Yes. I see for my sanity. So I can walk around my house without tripping over things. So I can relax and breathe easy. Let's see. All sorts of comments about the event and all of the ideas that people have gotten. Becoming more intentional and using my time to achieve my action steps. That is key. We're on here twice, just so you know. You might take us off in the corner.
Yeah.
There we go. Yes, so many whys. Let's do a giveaway.
Oh, yes. I definitely want to do a giveaway.
Okay, what do you want to give away?
I'm just going to put that link up. I know people are just now joining us. That's how you enter the giveaway. Very simple. You only need to enter once. But there it is. That link is also down in the description. It is not clickable, but let's go ahead and start giving some things away. Should we give away the pass?
Sure. Let's give away.
So we're going to give away 5 All Access passes. Okay, we're going to give away 5 passes right now. This is not our only giveaway. We got plenty more to come. Don't worry. But we're going to give away 5 passes. I'm going to put the link to it on the screen unless.
All right. So if you win the All Access pass, you are going to get lifetime access to all of the sessions we just had this week. So you can refer back to them as you're working through things. And also, we made this list today of the next steps to take, right? But as you start working through that and you have new next steps to take, maybe some of the sessions from this virtual conference would apply to the next step that you want to take. So you can go back and reference those. And so we will email you if you are the winner. If you have already bought it, that's fine. We'll either refund you or you can gift one to someone. Exactly. I know a lot of people watching already have it. But we got smart this time because if you remember on the kickoff, I only had people's first names for the most part. So we have first and last names. But we'll also send you an email. To do anything, if you're the winner, we'll send you an email and contact you so we can get you your prize. All right. Let's see. Congratulations to Amy Smith, Cindy Schaefer, Alicia Deers, Lacey Chotsky, and Melinda Chan. You are the winners of the All Access Pass. So we will reach out to you via email. Make sure that you get your pass. We have more giveaways coming up, so don't worry. If you didn't hear your name, you can hang around, and we will be giving away some more fun goodies. But what do you have up next, Laura? All right, so up next, we are going to do a last midday meetup. Those were super popular this year, and we're going to do a last one, and then after that, we have a surprise from the speakers that I'm really excited to share. But we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do a last midday meetup. So we'll do it just like the others. We'll put the slide on the screen. You won't even see us while the timer is going. So the timer will be counting down from 10 minutes. We won't even be on the screen. We'll come back, we'll do more giveaways. Then we've got an extra special surprise to play from the speakers. And then of course, more giveaways. So there's lots of fun still to come. So for the last midday meetup, we want you to take these 10 minutes and declutter something. So wherever you are, I would pick whatever you can see
from where you are. So like if you're in your car, declutter your car. If you're at home, go pick an area that you can get some progress made in just 10 minutes and see how much you can do in 10 minutes. We'll all be doing it together, and at the end of the 10 minutes, you'll come back and you'll share what you got done. We just think that's super fun and motivating. So I'm gonna go ahead and put up the timer, and we're gonna change that timer to 10 minutes. Is how long we'll be doing it. And like I said, you won't see us on the screen during the 10 minutes. You're just gonna need to go declutter and then come back and let us know what you have decluttered.
It's not up. The slide is not up.
The slide's not up?
No.
And we're still on.
Yes. You can go and declutter. We'll work on getting the slide up.
I was very ready to declutter. Okay. Oh man. Oh wait, no, that's not what I need to click. I forgot to click the button. That would help.
There you go.
There we go. Now.
There it is.
All right, so
let us know how it went for you.
Yes, we'd love to know how that final midday meetup went for you. What did you get decluttered?
Okay, one of my favorite comments of what got decluttered. They said, I watched one of Cass's 5-minute decluttering videos and I threw out 9 pieces of old candy, 2 bags of expired cookies, and an ancient baggie with goldfish in it.
Oh, wow. All right. Great job. Somebody got their desk, washed dishes and loaded the dishwasher.
Took care of the basket in the bathroom, craft room, and bedroom.
Hanging up laundry and folding.
Decluttered my cheese and deli drawer. Okay, like the drawer that holds the cheese. Like all of the mold that can, like if I just like leave, do you all have this? Where like, I don't know, you have some very specific kind of cheese. It's in the back of the drawer and you get all the cheese you're regularly using on it. And if you don't like dig through there, you're like, oh look, it's molded now. So
yeah,
good job.
Well, you all have gotten a lot done.
Bagged up my old drip coffee maker to make room for a tiny manual pour over flask. So 1 in, 1 out, getting more kitchen counter space.
Awesome.
That is a win. I love kitchen.
Somebody made a dent in their paper.
Yes.
Which is always a big one. So hope you enjoyed that final midday meetup. We have another treat coming up for you in just a minute, but we will give away, I think what we'll do is we'll give away one of these binders. That we talked about this earlier, but if you weren't on, it looks like this, and it's like a binder that comes to you essentially, I would say, like already made and ready to go. So all you have to do is fill it out. Trying not to
hit me in the face with the binder.
Trying not to do that, but it has all these different sections for you to just kind of organize your entire life and get all of your information. You know, it's not pre-filled out, pre-printing. Yeah, I'm like, we didn't fill it out for you, but we've got all these different sections. So if you've already bought this, we'll refund you, or we'll send one as a gift. So we'll give away one of those.
All right, congratulations to Callie Gret. You are the winner of the binder. So we will be in touch to get your address to mail that to you.
Awesome. All right. And so congratulations on that. Let's see. No, you do not have to re-enter for each giveaway. You just need to enter once. So for those of you who weren't on earlier, there is a link to the binder if you're interested in that. And be sure to write down that coupon code. Also below the link, you can like copy and paste it. If you go to the description, it's in the description. You'll want to get that extra 60% off because, I mean, who doesn't want to save an extra 60%? So that's the physical one. There is also a printable one. I'll put the link up there. If you are someone who wants to get all the files and just go ahead and print it for yourself, that's another option for you. So I'll put that up there as well. All right. And then, I think that, yeah, if we entered one, we froze.
You need to switch the camera. I'll work on it. Switch to the other angle.
Okay, I'm going to switch to the other angle. It's just our battery died. So we're going to put in the other battery. But here's what we're going to do now. We have a very special video to play for you where we ask several of our Get Organized HQ virtual speakers a question, and they are answering on the video. So we will play that for you. And what is the question that we asked them?
We asked them for hacks that make keeping their home running smoothly easier.
Okay, so we asked them what is like one of their favorite hacks that keeps their home running smoothly. And so you're going to hear from just a whole bunch of speakers. This is a pre-recorded video that we will play for you. All right, we got our camera fixed now. Way, yay! All right. So we'll go ahead and
play the video.
Yes, we'll go ahead and play that video for you. And then I think it's about 28 minutes.
Yeah, right. 27,
Okay.
I think.
Yeah, so we'll play that video for you. You can hear from all of them. You get those last tips.
Yeah, have something to write with, maybe,
yes,
because this is going to be like rapid fire tips from a bunch of our different speakers. So this isn't like a long in-depth tutorial. It's just like, I think it's like a tip from Catherine and then a tip from Dawn and then a tip from Cass, and we just keep on going. So have something ready to write with so you can jot down these ideas.
Yep, and then when we come back, we will do more giveaways.
Yes.
And yeah, so we will go ahead and play that video for you. And it is right here.
Save the top of your liquid soap containers because these tops fit really well on most standard cleaning products. Look how easy this makes it to clean. And spray bottle tops also fit on your cleaning products too. This makes it super fast and easy. I love this trick.
It's all about inventory. So as I was decluttering and simplifying our home, getting rid of 85 to 90% of our possessions, I learned that everything in our home is inventory that we have to manage. And as women, most of us are the chief inventory managers. So if any area of your home isn't working, your entryway, your laundry room, maybe you have food going bad in your fridge or pantry, it probably just means that you're trying to manage too much stuff in that area. Try scaling back the inventory, decluttering, simplifying, and most likely your systems and your organization are going to work so much better.
Repeating this mantra, all the surfaces are hot lava, which means I can't put things down on flat surfaces like counters or the top of a dresser. I have to give everything a home. And if you're visual, this home can be, shelves above the flat surface. Shelving's okay. Those aren't hot lava, but your working surfaces, if you commit to not just setting things down, your entire home will be tidier. That also means the kitchen table, friends. And when you first enter into the door, I repeat this mantra, the surfaces are hot lava. That also includes the floor. And I force myself, instead of putting something down, to put it away. And this transformed my space from a complete mess to one that's always staying tidy.
I cook once, but I cook for 2 separate meals. And so what that looks like for us is I will cook a massive pot of soup, or I will make a bunch of chicken, and then I will freeze and store for another time that I'll use, whether it's in that 2 weeks time frame or later in the month. So when I'm meal planning, I am often doubling up my meals so that I can just grab that extra meal on the night that we've got a practice or we need to run out really quick and we're getting home late. It saves us so much time.
So this is one that probably a lot of you have already jumped onto this solution, but I absolutely love now using Google Calendar. I was stuck in the dark ages using paper calendar and other forms of non-digital planning to keep track of everything going on in our lives. And I finally switched over to Google Calendar, and it's been amazing. So if you haven't done the switch yet, just do it. It's going to be amazing. It helps you stay in sync with other family members. And if they're other adult family members, like they can have their own account, even their own Google account, and you can sync them into the same family calendar, and their events will show up in a different color. But that way you're always in sync, and they're able to see when you set an appointment for here or there. The other thing is that I always have my calendar with me when I'm away. And so when I'm maybe planning a play date with a friend, or I'm at the doctor's office and I need to see when I can make an appointment, I have it right there. I don't have to have a paper planner or anything. And then the third reason that I absolutely love is that I can set notifications to remind me by default, like an hour. I always do an hour before an event. I get a notification on my phone. That helps me not to miss so many things. So I highly recommend it. If you haven't jumped on Google Calendar, it's free and works really well.
Style hack, and it gives you that effortlessly cool style without you having to work too hard. If you do nothing else with your style, remember this rule: opposites attract. Think leather and lace, hard and soft, casual and dressy. If you pair two opposites together in your outfit, you are guaranteed to look cool, look effortless, look chic, and it doesn't have to take a lot of time, energy, or effort. So remember, your best style hack is that opposites attract.
I love, it just makes my life so much easier if I meal plan by theme days. So I'm not talking like crazy themes here. I'm talking like Mondays are chicken nights. Like we always have baked chicken on Monday nights. Tuesdays are taco nights, and that might vary, right? Like maybe we'll have shrimp tacos. Maybe we'll have ground beef tacos. Maybe we'll have chicken tacos in the crock pot or chicken tacos on the Blackstone, whatever it might be. But Tuesday nights we're having tacos. Wednesdays are breakfast for dinner every single week. Thursdays are usually like something on the grill, and then Fridays are pizza Fridays. So that one like framework helps me, because then when I go to plan my meals out every month, all I have to do is think of 4 chicken recipes, or 1 chicken recipe if I want to make it every Monday. I need to think of 4 ideas for tacos. I need to think of 4 ideas for breakfast for dinner. I need to think of 4 things that I'm going to ask my husband to cook on the grill, because he does all the grill stuff. So theme days to organize my meal planning has been like life changing because it just takes a lot of the work out of coming up with a brand new meal every single night. I hope that helps.
To treat myself with items that are consumable. So it's not anything that I'm going to have to manage long term. So my example is buying myself the flowers that always motivates me to clean, buying myself little specialty soaps for the bathroom, buying myself a moisturizer for my hands to use when I'm getting in and out of the car. Little things like that that I know I can actually use up and consume, and not something that's going to sit on the shelf in my house. I feel like that is a really great life hack to treat yourself and to keep your life simple.
So this relates to kids' hand-me-downs. All right, I have 3 boys, and I don't think we've ever had to buy new clothes for my youngest son. And here's why. We keep a bin on the floor in the boys' closets. Every time they try something on that doesn't fit, it goes into the bin. They don't hang it back up. They don't put it back in the dresser, nor do they put it in the dirty clothes bin, but rather they put it in the bin on their floor. This way, everything that is hung up or in their dresser are clothes that actually fit. This way, once the bin is filled, those are all the clothes that will be passed down to the next brother, and everything that is hung up in their closet or in their dressers are clothes that actually fit them. So this way, it goes out of their rooms and ready for the next kid when they are ready for that size. That is my life hack that I absolutely love.
I meal plan, and to make that process easier, I have a spreadsheet of recipes that my family likes for each season. So instead of going through cookbooks and Pinterest every time I'm going to plan the meals for the weeks, I just go to my spreadsheet and pick something that I've already chosen from there. Makes meal planning so much easier.
To remember the little things. It's really the little details in your outfit that's really just going to complete it and make you feel really good in it. So don't forget to take the steps in the morning, like getting ready for the day. Make sure you have a good skincare routine. Put on a little bit of makeup, not a lot, but just whatever you're comfortable with. Make sure your hair is brushed. Add some completing pieces like some jewelry.
Labeling. So I have 4 boys and a husband, making it 5 boys in my family. No one can find anything. I've got everything organized, but every bin also has a label on it. So when someone is looking for something, and they always come to me first, I ask them what they think, where they think it would be, and to go to that area and look. And no matter what happens, they will see that the label on it is exactly what they need. So be specific. We don't, as organizers, label things for our health. We label them because it makes things easier to find. Not only easier to find, but easier to put away. Even you. If you don't remember where something goes, but you know the general kind of area, you will find the place if you have a category for that item and people can find it there. So that's my life hack, is don't forget to label. It's very important for your mental health, for your success, and for the family.
One thing my husband and I have been doing for years to save money with meal planning is that I will cook a protein in our crock pot on the first day, but I will cook enough for it to last to use it in another meal like 3 or 4 days later. So for example, I'll cook chicken tenders on day 1 with just a little bit of Italian dressing in there. They can even be frozen, so I absolutely makes it so much easier. And then that night we'll use them for chicken fajitas. So it's not a crock pot meal. It's just that I'm cooking the protein in the crock pot. Then 3 days later, I will take that same chicken tenders that they've been cooked. So they've been sitting in the fridge for 3 days. And I'll either make a homemade Alfredo sauce, or I will put jarred Alfredo sauce in a saucepan, and then I'll add the chicken in order to heat it up. And then voila, I've got chicken Alfredo for the second meal. So I've made one meal chicken fajitas with this chicken, and then the same chicken I'm using a second time, but 3 days later, so no one's upset eating back-to-back chicken for chicken Alfredo. I hope that will save you time and money.
Meal plan for 2 weeks at a time instead of 1 week at a time. Most of the time, moms don't love meal planning anyway, so why do it more than you have to? When you 2-week meal plan, you can also bulk order your groceries, get those meat and other items that you need in bulk to save money, and you only have to do it twice a month.
To have a pouch that has all of the essentials in it that you keep in your purse. Because if you want to change purses or you don't want to carry your purse with you one day, you can grab it out and it'll have your license, your credit card or your debit card in it, and anything else that's absolutely essential. That one little bag that can go everywhere. Fits in my jacket pocket, fits in any purse I want to bring, whatever. It has simplified my life so much, never forgetting anything that's essential.
Using the concept of spatial limits. I give myself spatial limits to help reduce clutter and help me be mindful of the things I'm bringing home. And when those spatial limits or the amount of space that I'm allowed to fill for something like shoes or bags or clothing is filled, then I can't buy any more until I declutter some. You also use the concept of spatial limits all the time with my children. Our kids can be little tiny pack rats and have tons of tiny treasures and things that they love. And so I have several different spatial limits that I give them that lets them know how many tiny treasures they can keep in their treasure box or their bin for finished artwork. And once those spatial limits are full, we get to go through the process of getting rid of things and choosing what's to keep, donate, trash, based on the amount of space that they have.
I'm all about goal simplification. And this year I made a goal to clean out my photos, which I don't know about you, but like my phone is just so many photos. And so I found the easiest way to do it because what I noticed I was doing was I was saying things like, oh, I'm going to do day 1, day 2, etc. Instead, all I'm doing for my photos is every morning I go into that specific day, June 1st, July 12th, August 15th, whatever it is. And I search that in my photos and I take a minute at most and I cull through and delete those specific photos. At the end of the month, I would search the month, August 2024, and then I'm cleaning out any photos from this month. So my goal is by the end of the year, I'm going to have a very streamlined photo system. And the reason this is a good life hack is because instead of saying I'm on day 12 of photo organization, you just know I'm on August 15th, and that's easy to remember.
When it comes to eating healthy, my life hack is to prepare for the unexpected. The worst thing for both your budget and most likely your family's nutrition is when you hit one of those days where you just forgot to meal plan or something goes wrong or the meat's not thawed and oh no, you need to go get takeout. That kills your food budget and it's probably not as healthy as homemade food. So what I do is I prepare for that in advance. So for me, I'll purchase things like pre-made grass-fed burgers or like bratwurst or sausage that are clean ingredients that I appreciate. That's not a compromise. But so maybe it's like a little more on the food budget, but I save them for when I really need them. And they're just there in my house. That ultimately saves a lot of time too, because I'm not running out to get takeout and it saves a ton of money. And my bonus life hack is if you're someone who is not intrinsically motivated and you need lots of deadlines, I tend to make meetings with either my team members at work or even with my family members just so that I will get something done. Because if I'm accountable to someone else, I'll do it.
I love to double a recipe when I'm making something in the kitchen. If you're going to make a casserole, just double it and make 2. Eat one now, freeze the other one for later. It saves you time in the kitchen and it saves you from having to clean up the kitchen twice.
When you think about decluttering your communication with your adult kids, I have this life hack. I always recommend that my clients think about how they want to show up. As a mom, when you're going to have a conversation with one of your kids, think about how you want them to perceive you. Think about showing up gently, kindly, and graciously. And I promise you, your communication is going to go much better.
The notebook hack. Now, I'm sitting at my desk quite a bit during the day, so I have a notebook, and it is of empty pages. There's 200 pages in my notebook. Every day, I start a new page. It has a place for a date, and in the beginning of this notebook that I have purchased on Amazon, it has a table of contents. And it is so helpful because I can write exactly what went down during the day in the table of contents. So if I'm looking back trying to find it, I can find that. Now, inside this notebook every day, I write all kinds of things that I need to remember or get done, maybe lists for groceries, or don't forget to pick up my glasses at the eye doctor. And I always have that down so that my notes are always and my thoughts are always on paper. At the end of the day, I do the 3-1-3, 3 blessings or wins, one challenge that I had in that day, and then 3 things that I want to take on and 3 goals for the day the next day. It's a great system, and it helps me just to stay organized, and it helps me really to stay on track with goals.
To go outside first thing in the morning every day for at least 5 minutes. And while you're out there, move your body, keep your sunglasses off, and let natural sunlight hit your eyes, reset your circadian rhythm. It will help with your cortisol levels or stress hormones and set you up for a great day and a great night's sleep.
That's huge. My life hack would be to, if you have a spouse or a partner, make sure that you schedule some time weekly to sit down, dream, get in sync, set some goals for the year, for the quarter. Different than a date night, we call it a coffee break. It's a time to come together to make sure that you guys are growing together, and it helps to strengthen your relationship and get your partner on board with all of the great changes you're making in your life.
To stack undesirable habits with more desirable ones. For example, I love to binge watch my favorite Netflix shows while working it on the treadmill, doing laundry, folding socks, or washing the dishes.
I work as a digital organizer. This is what I do. And a lot of people come to me with huge, big projects, or they want to tackle, 15 years worth of files and get it done in an afternoon. I hate to tell you that just doesn't work. So my life hack is to get in the habit of setting a timer. I have a kitchen timer in my office, or you can, use your phone. Every day, set a timer for 5 to 10 minutes and spend that time focused on your digital organization. So decluttering your email inbox, cleaning up your downloads folder, going through family photos and getting rid of ones you don't want and putting the ones you do want in the right folder. You have to take it in small little increments. Small, consistent actions lead up to big changes. So rather than making this huge project, make it a habit. 5 minutes every day to declutter or organize your digital spaces, and you will see results. So small steps, sustainable steps, and be consistent.
My friends who are not morning people like me are going to love this one. So every single Sunday, I like to check the weather. And based on what the weather looks like for the week ahead, I pull 5 little outfits for my 5-year-old and my 3-year-old daughters. I pull 5 little outfits, I hang them up in the closet, and that makes our mornings getting ready for daycare, for camp, wherever we're heading for the day, so much easier because the decision's already made. I'll do this for myself sometimes when I'm traveling and I know that I'm going to have a really varied week where wearing the same old tank top and yoga pants probably isn't going to cut it. So that is my life hack that I cannot live without. And it's checking the weather, pulling outfits for the entire week, and it just makes our mornings go so much smoother.
Enjoy the small milestones. I think a lot of times we try to look at the bigger picture and only see success in this big, massive goal, whether it's to save a X amount of money or to go on some lavish trip, that we forget the small little wins that we had along the way. So my biggest life hack is to celebrate those little milestones and practice a bit of gratitude along the way to reach your ultimate goal.
Brain dump all your things to do on paper before bed, or put it on your Asana or your notes on your phone. It helps to keep the items out of your head so that you're not constantly trying to remember it all. So that's one of my hacks.
To make sure you have your outfit for the next day set up the day before. And it may sound a little crazy, but honestly, it saves so much stress. You hit the ground running. There's no excuses for not getting started with your day. And maybe you wear business attire, maybe you wear scrubs, maybe you've got a working at home uniform. We've all got a uniform. Kids clothes, kids backpacks ready to go. And it helps us get started with our day. It sets you up for whatever the day is going to throw at you. And I can bet you that the day that you don't have your outfit ready, somebody's going to come knocking on your door.
When it comes to crafting, I often run into the situation where I pull stuff out and then I forget to put them back. And so what I have found is easiest for me is that I just have a container that's got all of the supplies that I just used for a project. And then I know that container is what needs to get put back first.
And if you have tons of rolls of vinyl sitting around and you feel like they're getting messy and they don't look very aesthetically appealing, or it's hard to dig in and find the color that you need because you have so many and then they start to unravel. So here's a couple tips that I like to do. So with the ones that come on the cardboard rolls, when I first use them, when I'm done, I roll it up and stick it on the inside, and then you could even write on the outside what it is. The other thing you could do is get these slap bracelets. This one I have on this particular one is actually from Caesar, but you can get these pretty inexpensive on Amazon. And then the third one is finding some reusable stickers. So if you get them from certain vendors, they might come with them, but the reusable stickers, and then you can roll it up and it'll keep it organized in your space.
I'm a crafter and I often make projects that require getting out loads of different supplies and using them to do a little bit on one particular project. And then what I want to always do is to then just jump onto the next craft project and start getting out everything for the next one. But my little life hack that I always have to remind myself to do, but it makes things so much easier, put away everything you used on that first project before getting everything out for the next one. Not only does that mean you then know where everything is because it's all gone back where it's supposed to be, but it means by the time you finish the next project, you then don't have a huge pile of stuff to put away, which will enable you literally can't fit anything else on your crafting desk, or at least that's what I used to do. But now I'm putting one thing away at a time. It does seem to go easier. I find it less overwhelming, and ultimately it does mean I can craft a little bit quicker because I know where everything is the next time I need it.
Hangers. Use the same type and color of hanger in your closet, and that will give it an organized look. So swap out the hangers. That could be the first step to getting your entire closet organized. Swap out the hangers and everything will look beautiful and uniformed. Trust me.
Pre-packed bags for things that I need when we're leaving the house. So here I have one for swim, I have one for Girl Scouts, I have one for karate, and they are pre-packed. Once we come home from that activity, they get repacked for the next time we need it, and it hangs in here. So all I have to do is grab the bag, check it, and roll. And having pre-packed bags just saves me time on the end when I do need all that stuff.
Meal planning. Meal planning for me is like a game changer. If I don't meal plan, we don't eat. It's just that simple. We have very busy schedules between my husband, my kids have like tons of after school activities. And even during the summers, we're just really, really busy. So meal planning for me is huge because you can't plan everything. Even as a planner, things just happen, life happens. So the last thing you want to be trying to figure out is what everybody's eating for dinner while they're hungry and angry at the same time. So I would say just meal prepping. I do it every Sunday, even if it's just up until like Wednesday or Thursday. I try to have enough meals to get us through half the week. And then by the time the end of the week gets here, like, I don't care, order a pizza, but at least getting through those first few days so that, everything's running smoothly. And if it doesn't run smooth, at least we know we have food.
Put your things all the way away. Now, if you've never heard me say that before, you're probably thinking, Tracy Lynn, what does that mean, all the way away? Well, it simply means instead of putting things almost where they belong, you're going to put them exactly where they belong. So instead of, let's look at a few examples. So instead of dirty laundry on the floor in the bathroom, they're going to be all the way away in the hamper. Instead of boxes of cereal sitting on the kitchen counter, they'll be all the way away inside of the pantry. Instead of dirty dishes sitting in the sink, they'll be all the way away inside of the dishwasher. Being conscious of not putting things on the counter, but exactly where they belong in the drawer is going to give you a clutter-free area in every single room. And the more you're aware of putting your things back where you found them, the neater your home will be, the more organized it will be, and the easier it will be to keep it looking clutter-free. So go ahead, give it a try. Put your things all the way away.
To share my calendar with my husband. I don't know why it took us so long to do it, but I finally shared my calendar with him and he shared his back. And now we know each other's work schedules, social events. It's just one big shared calendar. Now we each have our own calendars because it's my calendar and I like to do it the way I like to do it. And his is just
a disorganized mess, but we share our personal calendars with each other so we can always know what's going on in each other's lives, and we can plan around it. I can look ahead to see birthdays and trips everybody's taking. So sharing our personal calendars with each other as opposed to making one big family calendar was a great life hack in my household.
Create beautiful systems. And the reason why this is a hack is because I think oftentimes we think in terms of organization and systems and how great a system is. But when you make it beautiful, there is feeling attached to it. It makes you love your space more. I think it makes you more committed to maintaining it when you haven't just created a system for functionality, but you've created a feel and a look in your space, in your home, whether it's a small space like a cabinet or a big space like your living room. And so I think that's my life hack to loving where you live, is to create beautiful systems. And I hope you love where you live.
All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed hearing all of those tips.
Let us know in the comments which one was your favorite.
Oh, yes, for sure. So hope you enjoyed that. I'm going to put the giveaway link up one more time because we are going to draw for some more winners here in just a couple of minutes. So there is the link for you. If you haven't entered, you only need to enter one time. Yeah. So we'll be drawing some more winners here in a couple of minutes. Love put the things all the way away. Yes, yeah. That is so true. I am so guilty of just kind of tossing it in the general area where it goes. And then I'm like, why are my counters always cluttered? And that might be why. So yeah, that's so true.
Yes, I see a lot of people talking about putting things all the way away. Someone says the lid to the squeeze bottle. That was Catherine's tip at the very beginning there. The floor and the flat surfaces being lava. All of those. So lots of tips here. Man, lots of about the lava, lots of them about putting your things all the way away. So,
all right.
Well, what order do you want to do our last couple of things in?
You want to do the giveaway next?
Sure. All right. We are going to give away a few more prizes. So as we kind of wrap up here, what should we give away first, do you think?
Let's give away another all access pass.
Okay.
Another binder and maybe 3 shop credits for $100.
Yeah. Okay. We're going to give away an all access pass. We're going to give away another binder, and then 3 of you are going to win a $100 credit to the Get Organized HQ shop. So you can go in there and get whatever you want.
And what I would do if I were you with that shop credit is we are going to launch our planners and accessories, including some very exciting new accessories. In October, I can't remember exactly when, but not too far away. So with that shop credit, it'll last, through the end of the year. So if you wanted to use it on a new planner or some of those accessories, you could totally do that. Of course, you're free to use it on anything in the shop. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to start with a pass.
I got to get it pulled up just a second.
Okay, so we're going to start with a pass. I'm going to put the pass link up one more time. That's not clickable. You need to type it in, or there's a link down below. The price will be going up as soon as we get off here, so not too much longer. So that is your last chance, and that'll give you lifetime access to all the sessions plus loads of other things. So we'll be giving that away, and then we're going to give away one more of these binders. This is called the Home Headquarters binder, and it is literally just like a binder that keeps all of your information for you. And like you'll see here that the pages are, it's kind of hard to hold it like that, but the pages are like printed and there for you to fill out. So we're going to give away one of those and then the shop credits.
All right. So let's see. The winner of the all access pass is Lillian A. And I have the winner of the binder is Stacy T. And then the winners of the shop credit. So $100 to the Get Organized HQ shop. I have Linda Balu, Carissa Demas, and Danae Nuttall. Congratulations.
Congratulations. So we'll be emailing you with details of how to get your prize.
Yes. So we'll send you the email that you put in whenever you registered for the giveaway. A couple things as we start to wrap up here. So as Laura just said, this is your absolute last few minutes to go and grab the all access pass on sale for just $49, going up to the full price of $297 in a few minutes. So if you've had your eye on it, absolute last chance right now. If you are interested in the binder that we were talking about, you want us to have one made for you and that we can ship to you instead of building one yourself, you can go to johqv.com/physical binder. Check that out there. Any other?
The print it yourself version, we also have that link up there. These links are down below. Plus, be sure to take down that coupon code so you can save another 60%. That lasts through Monday. Always, I even saw that question. Yeah, that's through Monday. So always good to save an extra 60%. And let's see here. So I think we really need to take a few minutes to thank everyone who made this event come together.
Yes, it is not just Laura and I, in case you were wondering.
Oh yeah, definitely not. I mean, there are so many people who make this event what it is. I mean, first of all, you all. Like all of you who come to the event, obviously we couldn't have it without anyone watching. And I just feel like this group is like the most supportive and encouraging. If you've hung out in the Facebook group, which by the way, we get this question every year, that's not ending. The Facebook group will continue until next year when we have the next conference. So you can still join even if you haven't joined. That link is in the roadmap. That roadmap is, that's probably what's left in there for you to get. But you can join that group and we'll encourage each other. So we just love having such a supportive and encouraging community. And you've already taken steps to get more organized just by being here today and just by participating in this event. So thank you to all of you. And then we have our speakers.
Yes. 118 sessions this year.
Yeah, and obviously this event would not be possible without actual, sessions from the speakers, and they so generously give their time and their expertise to us so that you all can enjoy their sessions, and they also are kind enough to share the event with all of you and invite you to come.
And the bonuses that they put in the All Access Pass, don't forget about those.
Oh, yes. And, all those extra things. So they've been so generous through that, and we are just so thankful for them. We don't have time to name all 118.
We'd be here for a minute, but
118 of them, but you can look at the schedule, and we're just so grateful to them. Like I said, we couldn't do it without them. And then putting it together on this side of things, it is not just Tasha and I. Like Tasha said, we would never be able to do this without our incredible, amazing team who works every bit as hard as we do, or perhaps even harder, to make this happen. And they don't, you don't get to see them. They're not in front of the camera, but they are vitally important. So Claire, who, oh my goodness.
If you have looked at anything from Get Organized HQ Virtual the entire time and been like, man.
Or any of these things.
Like if you looked at this binder and you're like, man,
she
that's really pretty.
This.
Like, that's not us. That is all Claire. It is amazing. It is not my gift. It is totally her gift. And she rocks it with that every single year.
Yeah, so she's a super vital part of that. And then Debbie, who is sitting in the other room answering your emails as fast as humanly possible.
Yes. Pretty much almost all of the email communication is done by one person. There are about 140,000 of you who participated in Get Organized HQ Virtual. So if you can imagine how many emails that boils down to of people reaching out with questions, reaching out for things, and she just fires off emails all day, every day.
I mean, I think she literally worked 17-hour plus days all week this week. So she's been very busy. And not only that, but she's a huge part of all those extras in the All Access Pass, the edited transcripts, the notes, all of those things. She coordinates all of those, and she herself creates many of those and gets them uploaded and all of that. So that was obviously, could not do it without her. And then Stacy, did you know she wrote every single one of those handwritten notes in amazing record time? I mean, I was blown away. And those notes, if you have the pass, go check them out. They are amazing.
And they are truly handwritten. I saw someone in the Facebook group ask what font we used. Like, no. Real pen and paper. That was all Stacey.
She wrote them and we scanned them in. So,
and then those other materials you have too. She is just such a good worker, getting our transcripts and cheat sheets and things like that done for us too. So huge. We could not.
She's been helping answer tons of your questions in the Facebook group.
Yes.
And things like that. And then Jeff, who has done a ton of tech. You would not believe how much tech goes into something like this. And he has been setting up so much of it, doing all of that. And then Katie and Irene has helped her some with so much of the stuff that would normally have to happen, but they were able to take that off my plate so that I could focus on just this event for you all and spend the time, making it as amazing as possible. So we are so grateful for Katie, and just I think we underestimate like how much helpful it is to be able to have someone reliable who can take over some of those things that need to keep happening in the background. That has been so valuable. Naomi, who has been answering tons of comments, DMs, all those kinds of things, keeping up with all of those. So we're so thankful to her for that. Rim, who has edited every single one of the videos, I think. Lots of video editing, lots of video uploading. He's been the one who's been getting, as soon as the live happens, he downloads it and uploads it back into the past portal for you all. So he's been doing that. So we're so thankful for that. Sarah, I think she helped with the, was it the
Yeah,
transcripts?
she works on the transcripts.
The
Yes.
transcripts. So she's been very helpful with that. And then we have Mindy, who helped with some of the tech
stuff.
when we needed some,
The stuff that gets over our heads, because you wear a lot of hats in something like this, and we do not know all the things.
Yeah, so sometimes we get a little stumped on the tech stuff, so she's there to kind of help us out with that. Erin, who has been a great part of, she's a writer, written a lot of the things that you see. She's been super helpful for us. Kyle, who's been there for support the whole time. And then, of course, we couldn't do this without our families. I get emotional when I talk about this, but like, they're there to support us, keep us going, believe in us, and let us basically, it's essentially like we're gone for this week. Like, we almost never see them.
Yeah, when my husband left for work Monday morning, I was like, I'll see you on the weekend. Like,
yeah, exactly. So we absolutely couldn't do this without, our very supportive families who are there to help us out. And we're just so thankful for all of you and for this another amazing event that is just about in the books.
Absolutely. So thank you everyone for coming and being part of this. Like I said, we had about 140,000 of you who signed up, came to these events, came to the live events, asked questions, gave feedback on the sessions, posted your before and after pictures in the Facebook group. Thank you for coming and making this event possible. And the community that surrounds this event is really what makes the event. If it didn't have the community, it wouldn't be much of an event. So thank you, all of you, for coming, for bringing the positivity with you. We love the Get Organized HQ virtual family.
Yes, so thank you so much, and we will see you back here next year
year
in 2025.
All right.